Hey everyone. When I was a third year medical student, I actually had this fourth year medical student who gave me some really great insight into how to obtain away rotations or audition rotations, sub Is, whatever you want to call it. And I wanted to share that with you today. A little bit as a background, I'm a DO student. I think away rotations tend to be a little bit more common with DO students and IMGs. So this might be a little bit more geared towards those folks out there. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about how I did that today. So let's get started. First off, you've probably all heard of VSLO or VSLO. It's this platform kind of like ERAS when you're applying to residency, and you can use this system to apply for audition rotations. This can be okay. I ended up getting one audition through VSLO, but the rest of my auditions I got in a different way, and that is through communicating directly with programs. So, what I did is during my third year, I looked into the programs. Specifically for me, I'm interested in anesthesia, so I looked into anesthesia programs that were historically DO programs. That way, I thought maybe they might be a little bit more friendly towards me being a DO student, and it might be a little bit more realistic to get an audition with them. So I looked these programs up and I applied to the programs that I am actually interested in and that I could see myself at and that are in areas of the country that I would want to live. So basically, you can look on these programs' websites and you can see their application process in terms of how to apply for auditions. Oftentimes, it will say they'll need a letter of recommendation or a couple of those, maybe a personal statement, a CV. Sometimes you have to fill out some other forms, and it's usually pretty straightforward. I mean, it does take a little bit of time. It's a little bit unfortunate because it's in January, February, March of your third year of medical school, which is sort of a really busy time since you're gearing up for step two. But anyway, so 3 of my 4 rotations I actually got in this manner, which was just by looking on their websites and applying directly through the program. A way to kind of keep track of all of this is to start looking sort of around now. If you're listening to this in December or January, start looking now and seeing when the different programs want your application materials by, and you can create a spreadsheet. I did have a little bit of difficulty because a lot of the programs didn't have updated information on their websites in terms of their actual due dates for their auditions and audition materials. But sort of around now, you can start looking and sort of filling in an Excel spreadsheet and putting in the dates that you need to have everything in. I also put in a number of other factors that I might need for the specific programs. So for some programs, they required a CV, so I would put that was required, letters of recommendation. So I'd put these all in my Excel spreadsheet in terms of what they all needed, so that way I could make sure that I got everything done. It's a little bit more tricky when you're applying directly to these programs to keep track of all of that. On VSLO, it's a little bit easier because, it has like things that have yet to be completed, and it's a little bit more organized for you. But when you're applying directly through programs, you need to be a little bit more organized in your efforts. I also did with some of the programs, I submitted my materials early if it just required emailing them to a coordinator. And I don't know if it's a thing, but maybe it showed my interest in the program more to them. And because I was applying early, maybe they saw that as a sign that I really wanted to go there, which is true. And I ended up getting those rotations that I applied to early. So that's a consideration if there's no hard date that, to send everything in by. Maybe if you could send things in early, it might actually look pretty good for you. Let's see here. What else? So we talked about VSLO. VSLO's okay. It really depends person to person on how successful you could be. I was not entirely successful, but I did get one audition through VSLO. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth, I guess. But some people are a little bit more successful than others, but it tends to be a little bit more challenging to get to have success with VSLO applications. So yeah, check into applying directly through programs for audition rotations, and hopefully that can help you. Let's see here. In terms of like writing a personal statement for programs, a lot of them required that. You'd sort of have to write a little bit about why you have ties to the area or why you're interested in going to that program, maybe some information about you. A lot of them require information like that. And it helps if you're actually interested in living in that area or going to that program, because then, you have a lot of really great answers. It seems like for me, the programs that I was really successful in getting, they were, I had really good ties to the area, so that matters. Yeah, I hope this can be helpful for you. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next episode.